Hello, this is Dan Terrence. It is August 1st, 2019. It is the 25th anniversary of mine working at Franklin Energy. This is video update number 6, and we have the three sections of the video as normal. Tip of the day, industry update, and then a mentor topic. Mentor topic, I'll talk a little bit more about my 25th anniversary. But let's get right into the tip of the day. I've got more material than my 10 minutes will allow, but let's get going and see if I can hit it. The answer for the tip of the day is action triggers. And the question is, how do you implement hitting your goals? So this is an article from Fast Company about a guy who kind of tricked himself how to write a book. And he really broke down the goals, 2 stages of achieving goals. The first one is to create the goal. And the second one is to implement and goal implementation. It kind of reminds me of a Seinfeld video where he kept, I think it's keeping the reservation. So his car was broken down and he goes to the auto dealer or the auto rental place and asks for the car that he had reserved. And they said, well, we don't have that car here. He was like, well, you're really good at taking reservations, but you're not so good at keeping or holding the reservation. That's the important part, just like goal implementation is the important part. I'll leave a little YouTube video. It's less than a minute on the Seinfeld segment that I'm talking about. So what are action triggers? What they really do is they're pre-established decisions that link behavior to an environment so that when A occurs, you just automatically do B, kind of without even thinking about it. For me, a good example, I think, is how I really got to ensuring that I was exercising, 5-6 times a week. And it's just kind of into my routine where in the morning I have a cup of coffee, I go through my email, and when that's done, I just go either to my bike in the basement or out for a walk, and I'm getting the exercise in. By the time I'm done exercising, I finally have woken up and forgot that I even did it. There was no chance for even almost to say no. And there's a really good study that kind of backs this up. So, and it was specifically about enhancing exercise frequency. And they broke the people into 3 groups. The first group was the control group. The second group, they gave them a lot of educational and motivational material on how the benefits of exercise. And then the third group created these action triggers, which prompted them to identify the day, the time, and the place that they would exercise. So the first and second groups had exercise rates of 35% and 38% respectively. But the third group had a dramatic increase in participation. 91% of that group exercised. So tip of the day, create action triggers. This can work home, work, other places in your life. But if A happens, you do B. All right, industry update. ACEEE article that came out a couple weeks ago talked about how to zero out emissions and the steps that states are taking to reduce carbon emissions in their power grid. It really started Hawaii put together a 100% legislation, a bill that passed 100% renewable energy portfolio by 2045. And then December of 2018, so just like 8 months ago, California went 100% carbon free by 2045. Then over the next few months, New Mexico, 0% carbon by 2045. Nevada, 0% carbon by 2050. Washington State, carbon free by 2045. DC, 100% renewable. Puerto Rico, 100% renewable. Colorado, 100% carbon free by 2050. There's 4 other states working on legislation today: New York, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. In addition, 11 utilities have announced greenhouse gas reduction targets of between 80 and 90% by 2040 to 2050. And if you look at those states already have legislation or are working on legislation, plus the 18 utilities, you're talking about 40% of all electric use in the U.S. pretty much going to carbon-free. And this is really just the beginning. This is really only have started in the last 8 or 9 months. So this is happening with or without, federal background or not. So I will, again, put down below there a link to the ACEEE article for those that would like to get a little more information. There's some other links in there that I found pretty interesting. All right, last topic, my 25th anniversary. When I started back in 1994, Paul, our founder, had taken a call from utility that said, can you save 1 million therms by the end of the year? And like any good entrepreneur, he said, yes. Hung up the phone and was like, holy crap, now what am I going to do? I came on board August 1st. We hired 4 engineers, 3 telemarketers, sold more than 1,000 customers, and saved 1,050,000 therms. And that led to a 2 million therm contract the following year, and we reduced our price by 30%. And it really laid the groundwork and foundation for who Franklin Energy was. And when I took the job, I thought, this is only a 5-month job. Paul said, this contract's only 5 months. I can't guarantee anything after that. And I said, that's all right. I'm all in. So it's been quite a ride since then. And people have said, can you believe what this company has become? How proud are you? And all these great comments I've been getting on LinkedIn and other places in person. And someone asked, what made us successful? And there's probably 100 different bullet points. But in just kind of a quick retrospective thought, I decided to come up with kind of 3, and I'll go through those, and I'm sure next week I'll do a video to update my bullet points on what made us successful. But here we go. Number 1, and we went right to that first contract, we were very myopic in doing what was right for our client and their customers. If you look at over the last 5 years here, we have a 97% retention of our contracts. And in fact, our utility clients, I don't even like to call them clients. I guess I have to just to kind of get the who I'm talking about across. But when I'm talking to a client, I'm talking to them as a partner. I call them a partner. It's kind of creating, again, this we are in this together approach. It allows us to be very transparent with them on issues and challenges of implementing energy efficiency projects. And then because you're transparent, you engage them to help through those solutions. And that's, I think, a really good way to do business. I also don't like to call employees employees. This is bullet point number 2. Refer to our peers, the staff that we work with every day, our associates, refer to them as Franklinites, because we're all kind of this community, this family. It's about collaboration. I think what you'll find is people who are at Franklin and need some help, that there's many that are willing to jump in and do whatever's needed to get the job done. No one is an island. Some refer to kind of creating this feeling as the corporate culture, and I think it probably is to a certain extent, but it sounds a little too official to me to talk about this as corporate culture. Again, I think it's about creating that feeling that we are all in this together, and people like to be part of that community, part that we have team goals, we have firm goals, firm by company goals, and we sink or swim together. And lastly, we're providing solutions to challenges that are way bigger than any one of us, bigger than all of us, for that matter. It's about health, it's about reducing pollution, it's about eliminating waste, and maybe it's crazy to say, but we're trying to extend the human race, the human life, and being able to live on this planet for more than the next generation or two. and maybe everyone likes to be part of something big. But I'm pretty sure that Franklinites especially like to be part of something bigger. So my 3 topics of why bullet points of why we've been successful, and I think we will continue to work hard and together to achieve the goals of the future. All right, I better shut it down. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.